Film and 2012 manager for the council. It says what it does on the tin, really. I manage the events and manger. It's getting into the Christmas spirit. Jingle bells, jingle bells. So, crikey. But was never very good at English, obviously. So I oversee the events team. I'm sure some of you have been in contact with. I also oversee the Southwark Film Office, which is about bringing films and drama and TV and adverts and using locations within Southwark. And I'm also the project manager for 2012. This is its own thing, so before that. For 2012, and that's across the council, so all the different services and departments and coordinating and managing that piece of work, which is huge, as Veronica's just mentioned. So, if we just thank you. So Veronica's been through this and our Olympic vision. So if we go to the next one, that'd be great. This is our structure chart, and I thought I'd just show you because it illustrates what Veronica was talking about. And in the middle of it, it's a bit bleached out here, but is the Olympic Delivery Board, as Veronica said, chaired by Tony Doyle, and Tony Doyle's an ex-Olympian and an Olympic cyclist, so we were very pleased when he agreed to chair the group. And on there we have the chief executive and primary school head teachers and... Okay. It's turned into a little game. And Bridget and a whole range of different people. Underneath it's 7 work streams. Capital Legacy that Veronica's talked about, and that's a £2 million capital fund for increasing sports activity and participation. Volunteering employment led by Clive Pankhurst, who's the Chief Exec of Volunteer Centre Southwark. The Southwark Experience Group, which includes cultural activity and events, led by Donald Hislop, who's the Director of Regeneration and Communities at Tate Modern. Pat Shelley, and Engaging Young People, he's the Head of Youth for Southwark Council. Public Services Operations, which Jonathan Toy is our Head of Community Safety, and the Health Factor that's led by Councillor Dora Dixon-File. And each of these looks at a very specific set of tasks and actions to deliver our whole sort of Olympic dream, I suppose. Thank you. So, just a bit of a briefing on the Capital Legacy Fund, led by the leader here. £2 million capital projects, improving increasing participation in physical activity and encouraging development of Olympic values. And we've done this. This is now, we've been through a big selection campaign over the past 6 months, so we can just move on a second. It was a 2-stage process with 40 applicants in stage 1. 17 of those applicants got through to stage 2, 14 applicants submitted then to stage 2, and 10 applicants were successful, and we announced that in late October. So there's a range of different programmes here, everything from a disability pool hoist at Peckham Pulse to supporting Herne Hill Velodrome and its ambitions to redevelop, to what else is there? To Bethwyn playground and increasing sport there and changing it into a multi-use games area. A whole range of different things across the borough, ranging from a few £1,000s to nearly £400,000. And those are capital programmes that all need to be finished and wrapped up by the end of 2013. So a physical capital legacy in the borough worth £2 million, and we've started on that journey already. So that's a really good piece of work that we're well on with. Next is volunteering employment, as I said, led by Clive. Clive is now overseeing a whole series of things, but the main piece of work that's come out of this is Southwark Council's volunteering strategy in partnership with Volunteer Centre Southwark. And essentially it brings together everything about volunteering and the sector's aspirations for volunteering as a legacy, and using 2012 as an inspiration to improve and to increase participation levels. Through that we've been working on, specifically to 2012, creating a web portal, so there is a specific part of the Volunteer Centre Southwark's website that focuses on 2012 themed opportunities, and people can put their their opportunities on there, but also Volunteer Centre Southwark's offering advice and support to those organisations that want volunteers and also to individuals who wish to volunteer as well. So looking at a whole range of those volunteering aspects. Next one, please. Engaging young people, quite a big topic here that kind of includes lots of other sections of the other work streams as well. So schools, can we just flick on the next one? So around developing curriculum activities, we have a regular newsletter that goes out to all schools, and getting every school involved in the National Olympic education programme called Get Set London. And in there is everything from sort of assembly packs to curriculum packs to opportunities for school children to get free tickets to the games as well, which is a nice carrot that's been dangled to people getting involved in that. Culture, I'm going to leave that to one side because I'm sure Annie will cover that when she talks a little bit about culture later. Sport participation is very strong in Southwark. We have a particular programme called Southwark Community Games that's running 8 Olympic events over the next 12 months. It actually started in July. And a series of other programmes that look at engaging young women, around people with disabilities, around disability sport, and also around volunteering with the Sports Leaders Award, which then goes to develop the sports clubs and the volunteering aspects around sports clubs in the borough. Yes. Volunteering, yes, volunteering opportunities, again with young people, and we set ourselves a target and linking accreditation into that. And then a legacy about what does 2012 leave as a legacy for young people, and that is developing as we work along. Next, Southwark Experience, I'm going to leave that completely to Anya, but just to say that Councillor Ward was right in terms of street dressing. We are leading on that in the borough, and also in the communications around sort of culture as well, and working with our partners, the bid projects. Southwark Arts Forum and the Cultural Quarter. Next, Health Factor. Again, around, it's quite an obvious thing, is, how do you try and improve people's health through being inspired by the Olympics and the Paralympics. Public, so this is the biggest work stream because it's the most complicated, and it's something that we absolutely cannot get away with not doing. If you just flip through this for me, there's a series of big events that impact on Southwark. Everything from the road races, even though they don't take place in Southwark, the impacts of road closures on Embankment and over Tower Bridge has a massive impact south of the river, all the way down to Elephant and beyond. Torch relays coming through Southwark, there's all these different events that we've got to consider, and that's not including our links to Merton and Wimbledon and Greenwich and the Jubilee line and all that malarkey. These are just some quick facts. 400,000 Olympians, Paralympians, officials, 8 million tourists, big city operations programme, the public transport games. I'm sure you're aware of some of the issues around the public transport. Can we go to the next one?
I had a vision then of public transport competing with each other.
A new Olympic sport.
Go for it, yeah. Over 10 million tickets, 20 million extra trips made within London. 80% of spectators attending events in Greater London will travel by rail and the underground. Massive piece of work for us in terms of helping to manage sort of surface level transport with our partners in Transport for London and Network Rail, with London Bridge being in the state that it's in, and it will still be in a significant state by the time the Olympics get here, and also with us being on the Jubilee line as well. Impact on services, businesses, customers, commuters, all that sort of stuff. And finally, just around key services, and we are working with partners across London to make sure that we can all carry on as usual, because London still has to move as a city as usual. So a lot of work, but we're getting there. And if anybody has any questions, let me know, or I'll be skulking around at the back.
Has anyone got a question they would like to ask just now? Would like or the vision of having